Hello Digimon fans! So today we will be talking about a very unique deck build. You all know that standard Digimon decks consist of Digimon cards, Tamer cards, and option cards. And there are some special cases like Omega decks which only utilizes Digimon and option cards. Yes, like my Omega Blue and Omega Red. Yeah, they use 46 Digimon and 4 options. The logic behind that decision is that with less options and tamers, your hand will be smoother because you'll be drawing more Digimon. So, using that logic, would it be viable if we don't use options and tamers at all? Well, personally, I never actually entertained that idea. It was tempting, but I never actually thought it would work. Until... Yep, I came across it on Twitter! Yes, let's take a look at the deck I found on Twitter.
So this is the deck I came across on Twitter. It has 50 Digimon in it, and no tamers, and no options! Like, wow! It was made by a user called Kinako, who won a tamer battle with it. See that metal gray promo on the side? Awesome! So, it's really crazy for someone to build something like that and win. After seeing this deck, I decided to dig a little deeper, where I found another deck made by this user called Shabu Shabu 0425. Feel free to follow him up on Twitter. Similarly to Kinako, this was also another 50 Digimon deck. The contents were more or less the same, except that he didn't have Skullgreymon and used Vorvomon instead. This deck also won first place in a tournament on the 9th of August. So, this deck composition seems a little fun, and since people are winning with it, why not? So I decided to build one myself. And here is my version of the 50 Digimon deck. In contrast to the other two decks, I did not have any BT2 Piyomon because, as I mentioned in my previous video, they were actually seldom used. The whole thing is very similar to my Omega Red deck. However, the 4 options were replaced with level 3s and a Volcanic Dramon. And I went headfirst into a tournament without testing. Well, actually, I wanted to playtest it a little, but I met one of the participants who went, "Hey, I saw your Omega Red deck video." So I was like, "Hey, I actually have viewers." So, I realized I could use tournaments to test out new decks to introduce to people. So with no prior testing, I jumped straight into the tournament. The first game was against Green, Tyrannomon, Algomon, and Titamon. I must admit, at that time, not having options or tamers seemed like the best idea ever because it was really smooth. I could set up like no tomorrow and finish off my opponent easily. Needless to say, it was a quick 2-0. In round 2, I was pit against a purple deck. Well, everything seemed to go well until I started to get stuck. Somehow, I just couldn't draw level 4s. Well, this caused me to slow down in the build up to Omegamon, and my opponent took advantage of that by controlling my board with Chimeramon and Bizzlemon. I also had trouble with Bizzlemon because my opponent kept stopping me from building my board, so I actually had nothing that could take out Bizzlemon. That is when I really started to miss Gaia Force. I fought really hard, but in the end, it didn't go my way. I lost 1-2. This match also made me realize why one of the decks had 20 rookies. Because if you can't build your Omega line, hit them with Rookie Rush. Especially when it makes Vorvomon. Okay, so now it all makes sense. Well, just as I thought my luck was bad, it got worse. Yeah, I was pit against a mirror match, Omega Red, ran by none other than my friend Aleph. Well, honestly, on a normal day, I should say I usually beat him in Omega Red mirror matches. Yes, I playtest with him a lot, but he has improved his deck from that day, and I'm playing him without any Gaia Force. So, it would be a tricky matchup here. But the winning condition of this game is easy. Whoever hits Omega first would win. Well, no, it wasn't an agreement between us, but hitting Omega first in a mirror match would give you control of the game. So, it's as simple as that. And sadly, just like the previous game, the lack of level force delayed my build up, and poof, I got wiped out by Omegamon. I mean, yeah, it's fine. With the amount of memory given to me, I could easily turn it around. I could easily build another Omegamon, but I couldn't because I didn't have a full line of them in front of me, so I couldn't just go from level 3 to level 6 and Omegamon. Yeah, I just couldn't. So because he was much luckier than me, I lost 2-0. Yes, I mean literally really lucky. Because he always hit Omegamon one turn before I could reach Omegamon, even when I start building before him. With that, I ended my tournament 1-2, which put me in 10th place. So throughout the tournament, I had chances to playtest a bit. Yellow decks couldn't really touch me because I managed to bring them down faster than they could recover or set up Shine Greymon. All Force decks couldn't set up in time as well. It was pretty much a 50-50 against purple decks. Yeah, it depended more on whether or not I bricked. Green decks fell flat against me as well, and that included the champion of the tournament that day, and Omega Red. Okay, no matter how many times I playtested against Omega Red, I always lost. Every single time. So I decided to switch things up a bit. I removed Monodramon and slot in Kokatorimon. The rationale here was that I wouldn't get stuck at level 4 that easily, and if I don't have level 3s, I can just hardcast it for 3 memory and build my lineup from level 4 onwards. It did become smoother, and it gave me a 50-50 chance against Omega Red. But even then, it wasn't really as dominant as my Omega Red deck.
I guess I should say that was a pretty disappointing tournament. Well, thankfully, I didn't actually go back empty-handed that day because on the way back home, I decided to stop by a local game store and picked up this thing. It's like, wow, they still have it in stock. I was like, wow. You know, I tried looking for these since the launch back then, and most places are actually sold out, but I actually managed to pick this up. Awesome! So, let's see what's inside here. Take this off. Oh, it's taped up over here. Let's see. Ooh! And, oop, there's a piece of cardboard here. Alright, and there you go. This is awesome. Let's see how many cards does it hold. Does it say anything over here? Oh, it says approximately 60 cards. So yeah, 5 Digitama and a deck. Well, still some space for some extra cards. Let's see what's inside. Okay, we open it up and woo, it's big and it has this thing to separate the cards in there. It's pretty handy. Yeah. Let's see if my deck fits in it. Let's see. Come on. Okay, this is my deck. And there you go, the main deck. Put it in. Oh, let's take out the separator first. Okay. In you go. there's actually a lot of space left. Yeah, and put this over here. Split it with the Digitama. Yep. Oops. Actually, there's still a lot of space for more cards. Yeah, it would not fit 2 decks, but yeah, you can put extra cards just in case. Yeah, you might want to modify your deck before the tournament or something. Yeah, or if you win any extra packs, yeah, you can have some extra sleeves here, which you can seal those SRs you get from the packs. That's pretty good. And best of all, it's based on the red starter deck, which yeah, just nice. It suits my deck well. Omega Red, and this is a red deck box. Pretty cool. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching, everyone. Let me know what do you think about the deck. Have you tried it out? And you know whether it actually worked in your locals? Yeah, let me know in the comments. And lastly, don't forget to like and subscribe. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. See ya.